Hey guys, so I decided to make this video. It does not have anything to do with hair, but it does have to do with the fact that I haven't made a YouTube video in over a month or so, and I thought it was only fair that I tell you why. Um, Personally, maybe I think it's a little therapeutic. I don't know, but the gist of it is that my ailments lately have been really bad for the past like month and a half, and it just everything was too much to handle. Um, to give you some background, I guess about a year ago, I was diagnosed with chronic migraines, which they were so bad I'd have at least 3 a week. I had just gotten a new job last February, where everything seemed to be awesome, but then when I actually was done training, they were a lot more strict with their sales quotas than I thought they would be. Were to the point where I was getting so stressed out, um, that that's what caused it. At first, I thought it was just, an allergy migraine because I had a sinus infection at the time. But I went to the doctor and he was like, it's something else. So by last year in August, they got so bad I was missing so many days of work that I was about to get fired for missing too many days of work. So it was, either I was going to get fired because I wasn't doing well, which I was trying to push myself harder to do, and all that stress kept piling on to the point where I would have more migraines frequently. So I tried to do the right thing and, go to the doctor and see if he could help me. But the doctor that I had at the time was a complete douchebag and pretty much told me that he wouldn't sign my paperwork so I could have sick days at work, because once people start getting their sick days, they don't show back up for their checkups. So I had to quit my job. So I quit my job in August. Took a couple months off. Went to a neurologist and things like that, just to get a bunch of medicine. I was on Topamax and amitriptyline to try to help with the migraines, but it was still pretty bad. And luckily, I was able to find a part-time job that they are nice enough to understand the fact of what I'm going through, and they don't care how many days I miss or things like that nature. But you know, back in, I guess, February, things started to look better. I accidentally stopped taking my Topamax, and my migraines were significantly less. Like there were weeks where I wasn't getting a migraine at all, and if they were a lot more manageable than the ones I had been getting. I still had like 1 week that I would call my trouble week, where it was, migraines every single day, 5 to 6 days a week was what that week was like for me. Um, but it got to the point where even that week was maybe, 2 to 3 migraines. So things were starting to look up. And, that's about the time I started working on my YouTube channel and stuff like that, because it seemed like there was hope that things were about to get better, and that maybe I would be able to start working a full-time job and things like that, and start being back to myself, I guess. But the past month and a half has been really hard, um, and at the beginning of the year in January, I went to my primary care and told them how I felt fatigued all the time. Even if it wasn't a migraine day, I was still waking up feeling like I had gotten like 2 hours of sleep, or, sometimes I wake up and I'm dizzy, and so I'll just go back to sleep off that dizziness. And with that, some days I was experiencing this soreness to my body. Like I had just gone and did a full day at the gym, like arms and legs day all at the same time, where some days I couldn't even like walk that far because the pain, I was so sore that I couldn't walk from like the kitchen to the living room without gimping. And so he suggested that I may have fibromyalgia. And so I, you know, put off going to see the rheumatologist because that copay is freaking ridiculous right now, and I don't have the money to pay that. And so, things started getting better, like I said, and that fatigue went away, but it came back, and it came back worse, I guess. Every day I feel like I'm not getting enough rest. I'm just sluggish. I don't feel like straining myself that much. And with that, my migraines started to happen more. Probably within the last 2 weeks or so, I've had, 3 or 4 migraines a week, and they're not even on my bad weeks. So it got so bad that I've just been, I guess, sucked into this depression mode, having those high hopes that everything's going to get better because I feel better, and then just having, everything revert back to the way it was. And so I stopped playing video games with my friends. I would be online, but I wouldn't show that I'm online. I don't. I didn't feel like talking to anybody. I still don't feel like talking to anybody, I guess I should say. But it's just, I'm one of those type of people where I don't like worrying other people with my problems. I'm always there to listen. I'm always there to support and comfort my friends and family when they need it, but I can't put that burden on other people. And so I'd rather just not be around people so I don't have to keep explaining that, this ailment, is destroying my life right now. And so I just stepped away from everything. And I mean, it's not like I've even had the energy to do anything. I mean, I can barely get, 8 hours a week work done, which is horrible, and it sucks. And, I hate putting my boyfriend in the predicament that he's in. He, pays for most of the utilities and rent right now. And, I never wanted that. I never wanted to put stress on him too. And so it's bad enough I'm doing that to him, so I can't just sit there and, tell people how I feel. And so I don't. And, I used to be this really outgoing yet introvert kind of girl. Um, I have good friends. They're great, and I loved spending time with them. But recently it's just not even they can help me right now, and I don't want to make them. I hate the phrase. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I wish there was something I can do for you. You know, when we both know there's not anything, and so that kind of makes me feel bad telling people that I feel bad. And so today I went to the rheumatologist finally, and she believes that I have early onset fibromyalgia. And so, they're going to start putting me on a different medicine along with, the stuff that I'm taking now to hopefully get everything back on track, because it's gotten to the point where it really sucks. And like I just can't, or never imagined that I would have to be back in such a bad place. Because when I got this job last February, that was the start of a new life for me, because I've struggled. I've struggled so hard to, make it in this life. Um, sorry. But pretty much, you know, back in the day, I was raised by my grandparents, and my grandma died my freshman year of high school. My grandfather already had a kidney failure, so instead of worrying the family about her ailment, she decided to hide it from all of us. And then, just one morning, she wasn't there anymore, and my grandfather pretty much soon after abandoned me, and I had to pretty much defend for myself. My first job was, all that money mostly went to making sure that I had food in the house. I couldn't drive at the time, so I would eat a lot of takeout, or just, you know, not pretty much eat at all. But so I struggled with that for a while, because he was, you know, they were gonna buy me a car, and they were gonna, pay for my college, and things were gonna be better. But all of that just just disappeared. And so, you know, I spent most of my time after that living with my mom. But my mom is, a single parent, and she has 4 kids. So, and around the time my youngest brother was, my freshman year of college, my youngest brother was born. So it was hard for her, you know, but she's a fighter too. So, she made it work, but I had to make sure that, I think I was, I don't know, 23 or so, maybe earlier. I moved out. But by that time, I'd been working, 2 jobs already, and trying to go to school full time, which was strenuous enough. And unfortunately, a couple years later, I had to quit school, because I couldn't work 2 full-time jobs and, go to school full time. It just couldn't happen. So, I just basically stopped working 2 jobs last February, and I was making enough money, and I had good health care and good benefits for once in my life. And, that meant the world to me. But after that, all this happened. Finally, after I thought I was out of the woods with the struggle that I had to deal with, being a 17, 18-year old, working as hard as I was, to, finally at the age of 27, having, made it to the point where I didn't have to worry, or I didn't have to work 70 hours a week and work, 60 straight days without a day off. But this happened. And then, it's ripped out a part of me that I I can't find right now. I can't I can't be that happy-go-lucky person that I was, that socialite who, always wanted to hang out. Karaoke karaoke was my thing, and we would go every week. I can't do that right now. And I'm really hoping that, with this new medicine that I have, that things will get better. But everything just looks so bleak right now. You know, I had planned to find a house this year with my boyfriend, and we have to put that off now because we can barely afford rent. And it's been a whole nother struggle that I didn't think that I'd have to deal with. And I don't understand it. I don't, you know, I just feel like I've, I guess in my eyes, been such a good person, you know, that God is punishing me for like a past life where I was like a serial killer or something, because I just can't get a break. And I know that people are always like, well, God only gives you as much as you can handle. But it's to the point where I've got all these weights on my shoulder, and it just keeps getting worse and more weights are added, and it's hard to keep faith and to keep hope, especially being raised by a preacher who then just turns his back on you for another woman. It's hard. I you know I got my tattoo um you know a couple months ago to just remind me to keep on going. And I don't know if you can see it, but the semicolon movement tattoo, because there were times where back in the day I was just like, I have nothing to live for. What's the point of it? You know, but I made it through that. You know, and now it's back to that point where I'm just like, I I don't see how I could be awesome. I don't see how I can dig myself out of this hole that's just gotten deeper. And some days it's really hard to you know put a smile on my face or think that things are going to get better. So I had to get it to remind me that I've gone through crap before and I'm strong. But I can't, there's only so much that a person can take. Everybody has their breaking point, and I feel like I'm just getting close to mine. And I lost love for the things that I once cherished, like karaoke or like this YouTube channel. And it's just hard, but I'm going to try to get better, and hopefully my new medication helps with that, and I can get back on my feet. So I just wanted to tell my story. Maybe this is more just a vent for me to make myself feel better, just to let it all out, because I keep it in a lot. I've always done it, but I don't know. That's that's why I haven't made any more videos. Um, that's why, other than Facebook, because that's literally all I can do most days. All I can stomach is my phone because TV hurts to watch. You know, going outside hurts to watch. Being on a computer hurts. So, I don't know. It's just, I want things to get better, and I really hope that they do because I want to be able to bring my, personality back and get on that high horse and, go out with my friends and make YouTube videos and all that stuff. Go back to work. God, like, I just miss having money. Uh, so hopefully in the next couple months, things will start looking up. If not, then I will, keep going until one day God says, hey, it's your time. But I just hope that, when that time comes, I'm happy and I made a life for myself. So, thanks for watching this long ass video. And, hopefully soon I'll have something else for you. Until then, thanks for watching.